Friends, comrades, firstly I'd like to start off with thanking you. Thanking you for the support you have given us over the weeks, whether it's the votes you cast for us in this election or the message of support you sent us. It really means a lot to us. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the outgoing board and Robert especially for the tireless service they have given this community, progressing our aims, building the right links with institutions and engaging our community. However, I think something that hasn't happened too often needs to happen with the new board. There needs to be a conversation between the board and the graduates on a regular basis. As part of my presidency, as the new president of Graduates of Democracy, my aim and vision will be to engage all the members once again. I believe we have a diverse talent of graduates from all over Europe who can tap into the excellent work we do and progress our progressive aims. But the only way we can do this is if we have regular contact and dialogue. I believe for too long the board has been too disconnected from graduates, and my aim under my presidency will be to ensure that the new board has a much more clear communication strategy in terms of communicating with graduates. So therefore, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my vision for the future and how I aim to do this. In the coming weeks, you will be receiving the survey from the new board. This will ask you things about what's worked so well in terms of communication, what could be done, and how we can ensure that the Board of Graduates of Democracy is more effective. I believe we need to know this from you because the only way we can make the board more effective is by hearing from you. For too long, I have seen myself as a graduate of democracy, that many members feel the organization has become too Brussels-centric, and therefore many young people with incredible talents from all over Europe are left behind. This has led to many graduates feeling disenfranchised and disillusioned with the whole process and falling out of the system. For too long we've had many talented graduates left behind who've stopped communicating and engaging with the community. The only way we can take this community forward is to re-engage you. That's why I want to have this conversation with you. I want to propose something really radical. Let's have this conversation. I want to hear from you what works for you and what doesn't, how you like to see the board move forward, and how we can make this board more effective and this community more effective. We have a diverse talent of young people from all over Europe. We have a membership of over 300 graduates now, over 3 editions of Graduates of Democracy. We are in excellent times where the political landscape of Europe is changing, whether it's Brexit, whether it's the rise of populism, and as young people, as the custodians of the next generation of Europe, we have a duty on us to ensure that our values and values of young people, progressive values, are taken into account by politicians. So therefore, under my presidency, I hope to ensure, and I have a vision of empowering you to have that say, whether it's in Brussels or at a local level. Let's work together to ensure that Graduates of Democracy becomes just more than a blog for ideas, becomes a lobbying force for young people which can influence right at the table to ensure that young people's voices are heard, whether it's at the toppest or at the lowest levels of European Parliament or our local and national parliaments. Let's ensure that we become a voice for change. When we met in Reggio Emilia, whether it was the 2015 edition, 2016 or 2017, it was amazing to see so many young people so passionate about making a difference. However, over the years, since returning from Reggio Emilia, we've seen that the same young people, the graduates of democracy, have become disenfranchised and disillusioned because they no longer feel so much part of it. I spoke to graduates from 2015 who I had the chance to partake in the School of Democracy with. I also had the chance to speak to some graduates from 2016 and 2017, and one recurring theme was that there wasn't enough dialogue between the board and the graduates. Under my presidency, I hope to change this. I hope to ensure that there's more dialogue. So I'm proposing this. I want to hear from you directly. Soon you'll be receiving a survey from the board asking you about what works for you and what doesn't, what the last board did right and what could be improved. We want to hear from you directly so we can implement these changes right at the bottom level to the top and ensure that the board is more effective. I believe we're doing you a disservice if the board doesn't work for you. We're here to serve you as graduates. This is your project, this is your organization, and we are here to help facilitate you in whatever way forward you need best in order to make this project a success. Therefore, as your president, I urge you, whether it's through a private message that you want to let me know any comments or recommendations you have, whether it's through an article on the blog, or whatever way you feel best, whether it's a private conversation or a public conversation, or you use the group to post some of your views and thoughts. But I want to hear from you directly. I want to know what's working for you and what doesn't, because my aim and my vision for this presidency is to engage all the members of Graduates of Democracy, whether it's your 2015, 2016, 2017, or future versions of the organization. I want to make sure that we bring all this diverse talent, which we have enormous amounts of talent from all over Europe, together to ensure we can work together for change for young people. We live in really interesting times, whether it's Brexit or populism or many other challenges that young people and Europe as a whole faces. It's now more imperative than ever that we take ownership of Europe, we take ownership of our values, and we take ownership of this organization to progress forward values which work for young people, whether it's at negotiating tables across Europe, whether it's in Parliament, or whether it's in local and national governments. We want to help you to move these issues forward and to campaign for young people who you represent. I believe we live in interesting times, and I believe if we work right, we will be able to influence change from the bottom to the top. That's my vision for the future. We have an excellent board where we have members from 2015, 2016 and 2017 elected this time. A much more diverse and representative board than we've ever had, with enormous amounts of talents and experiences in different fields. I believe this is a best time for us to have a say on European issues, whether it's locally and nationally in our nations or in Brussels as a whole. But for too long, many graduates have felt that the organization has become too Brussels-centric. If you're not in Brussels, you feel left behind. And that's led to many young people feeling disenfranchised and disillusioned with the project. I aim to change this. I aim to make Graduates of Democracy more diverse and more representative of young people all over Europe. I aim to engage you in all discussions we have, whether it's strategy or projects, because we need you to progress forward. This is your organization, and I want you, as president of your Graduates of Democracy, to take ownership of your project and help us move forward. We are here to facilitate change for you and to serve you. And with your votes and the mandate you have given us, we hope to implement these changes and radically transform the organization from being just an editorial blog full of articles to a lobbying organization which fights for young people on all levels. And we can only do this if we have your support and your encouragement and also your views about how we can move forward. I want to hear from you, so whether you're going to email me, whether you want to message me privately on Facebook, or you want to post in the group, write an article, whatever way you feel best, I want to hear from you. You'll also be receiving a survey soon, and I want you to fill that in and let us know how we can move forward. But I don't want you to wait for that long. I want you, as soon as you see this, to get in touch with me. Also, I'm proposing that we have more better channels of communication between the Graduates of Democracy Board and the graduates. So I'm proposing that we have a regular newsletter from the Graduates of Democracy Board to members, letting them know what we're doing, what upcoming projects are, and how members can get involved. I also hope to work with the Graduates of Democracy Board, the newly elected board, to establish a page of opportunities for the graduates, whether that's hosted on the website or on our Facebook page, which allows graduates to see what opportunities are available and how they can get involved. I believe we need to work together to take this project forward and make it a success. I want to take power back from Brussels and give it to you, the graduates, to ensure that you have full power and control over your organization. This is your organization. When you came together in Reggio Emilia, whether it's 2015, 2016 or 2017, it was amazing to see the amount of passion and talent we had from all over Europe. However, it's a shame that we've seen the same young people feel disillusioned and disenfranchised. This project was aimed to get young people involved, to get young people excited about change. However, we've done a disservice to our own young people by leaving them behind. So therefore, I, on behalf of the new Graduates of Democracy Board, want to work with you to re-engage and re-inspire you to be part of that change, to take ownership of that change and really make a difference. Because together we can and we will make Graduates of Democracy a success. We will ensure that young people are heard, whether that's locally, nationally or internationally, whether that's at the European Parliament or at our local institutions. We will work together to ensure the young people you represent are heard. Thank you very much. I look forward to hearing from you.